Today we are here to take you on a journey through a film that has deeply impacted us, a group Moonlight directed by Barry Jenkins. Released in 2016, Moonlight is not your typical coming of age film. It does not rely on melodrama. Instead, it brings us into a quiet, intimate world of Chiron, a young black boy growing up in a rough Miami neighborhood and follows his life through three defining chapters: childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. But what makes this film truly special is that it is not just about what happened, it takes about how it happens. The movie won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 2017, famously in that unforgettable Oscar moment, and it made history as the first LGBTQ film and the first film with an all black cast to win the award. But more than it accolades, what really matters is how Moonlight make you feel, how it invite you into someone pain's confusion and eventually self-discovery. Today our group of 10 will walk you through the layers of this powerful film, each offering a different lens through which to understand it, from storytelling and acting to cinematography, music, and cultural impact. We hope you will see why Moonlight stay with us long after the screen fades to black. Now, person is coming with which topic is storytelling and narrative structure.
Moonlight is told in three acts: Little, Kiran, and Black, each representing a different stage of the protagonist's life. This structure is more than a stylistic choice, it mirrors how identity develops over time, especially for someone navigating trauma, poverty, and internal conflict. What's striking is how the story unfolds without ever needing to explain itself. There are no infodumps, no overt moral lessons. Instead, the film trusts us to pay attention. It moves at its own quiet pace, allowing us to absorb each moment. The transitions between chapters are stark but emotionally coherent. You will always feel like you are still watching the same person even as he physically changes. Barry Jenkins adapted the screenplay from Tarell Alvin McCraney's unpublished play In Moonlight, Black Boys Look Blue. And that title alone gives us insight into the tone. There's poetry in how this story is told, and it's not just about a boy growing up, it's about the world shaping him, breaking him, and offering him rare moments of tenderness that somehow hold him together. Now, the third speaker will tell you about the cinematography and the visual style of the film.
The cinematography of Moonlight is breathtaking. Shot by James Laxton, the film uses the color and camera movements in such a way that it is breathtaking. And we can notice that in the film there are more deep blues and violets when compared to the black, because this is how intentionally the movie has been made, and it has been beautifully worked by James Laxton. And the close-up shots predominate the most of the film. We can see how the cinematography and visual style played a key role in the success of this film. The, the cinematography is been beautifully done by James Laxton. There is one standout scene where young Chiron was being taught how to swim in the ocean by Juan. In that scene, the camera movements which tips beneath the waves, and the way it captures the movement of Juan and young Chiron, and the moments of the glistening sunlight in the water shows the cinematography style of James Laxton, and it has been beautifully done by him. So at last we can say that the Moonlight film, this it is composed with utmost love and care, and the movie of Moonlight is, even though it is quiet film, but it is visually epic and it's full of emotions with no explosions. Next, the other person will say.
So I will be talking about music and sound design in the movie. If the visuals are soul of Moonlight, then music is its heartbeat. Nicholas Brittle's score is delicate, haunting, and perfectly tuned to Chiron's emotional landscape. The music doesn't overpower it. Whispers, strings swell and fade like waves, echoing Chiron's longing for connection, for safety, for love. One of the film's most iconic musical choices is the use of chopped and screwed classical music. The blending of genres and elegant and gritty reflections Chiron's internal contradictions. His tenderness is constantly clashing with the hardness of the world expects of him. The use of ambient sound is also important. Silence plays a huge role in most of the scenes of the Moonlight. Sometimes what you don't hear is more powerful than what you do. We hear the ocean, the hum of streets, the awkwardness of a quiet room, and it all adds to emotional tension. In many scenes, you almost hold your breath with Chiron, waiting for the moment to pause or explode. The sound design respects your emotional intelligence. It doesn't force you to feel something. It gives you the space to find those feelings on your own. So now my friend will tell about something new.
The acting in the Moonlight is nothing extraordinary. Kiran, the acting in the Moonlight is nothing short of extraordinary. Teresa is portrayed by three different parts: Alex Hibbert, Aston Sanders, and Trevor Rhodes, and yet they all carry the same emotional weight and same haunted eyes. This is not just about good casting; it is a remarkable community. Trevor Rhodes gives a particular powerful performance as adult Chiron. For Black, his physical transformation, muscular, hardened, quiet, is striking. But beneath the surface, you still see the same little full of questions and pain. It is all in the way he avoids eye contact. He sits silently across the cabin in the dinner. How his lips tremble just before he speaks. And of course, there is a Marshallist Ali as Juan. He is only the first third of the film, but his presence stays with you. Juan is drug dealer, yes, but father of figure, a protector, and a teacher. He is seen with young Chiron, teaching him to swim, telling him he doesn't have now who he is just yet, and are some films most memorable. Ali won an Oscar for the role, and he deserved it. His performance tender, layered, and deeply human. Now, my friend will.
Moonlight doesn't use a lot of words, and that's intentional. Barry Jenkins and Tarell Alvin McCraney crafted a script that values silence as much as dialogue. When characters do speak, their words matter. There's a scene where teenage Chiron asks Juan, "Do you sell drugs?" followed by, "Do my mom do drugs?" The pause between those questions is heart-wrenching. The silence says more than any monologue could. Another powerful moment in the final act, when Chiron and Kelvin reconnect as adults. Their conversation is full of pauses, stammering glances. But underneath, it's a conversation about vulnerability, about identity, and about hope. And when Chiron says, "You are the only man who's ever touched me," it's not dramatic, it's truth. Raw, aching truth. In many ways, Moonlight rewrites the rules of how dialogue functions in film. Less about telling, more about revealing. I would like to call upon the next speaker.
Moonlight is a powerful movie because it shows something we don't usually see. The story of a young black boy, Chiron, trying to understand who he is in a world that doesn't make it easy. Chiron grows up in a tough environment where people expect boys to act hard and hide their feelings and never show weakness. But Chiron is different. He is quite sensitive and trying to figure out his sexuality. He is gay, but he doesn't feel safe to express it. This makes Moonlight so important. It shows how hard it can be to grow up gay, especially as a black boy in a place where being soft and different gets you bullied. He just have to survive and slowly try to understand who he is. This movie also shows doesn't rush to solve everything. It shows how long it can take to feel okay with yourself, and it shows being open and being real and being vulnerable. Those things takes courage, but it also speaks something bigger. It reminds us that identity, sexuality are not important. Everyone deserves the space to grow, love, and just be. I'll call my friend to speak.
Moonlight doesn't try to manipulate your emotions with big dramatic movements. Instead, it quietly breaks your heart and then slowly begins to heal it. What moved many of us was how much we saw of ourselves or people we know. In Chiron, his loneliness, his longings, his love, his confusion, his silence, he is not a character we pity, he is someone we understand. Our moment that stand out is a scene in the diner between the adult Chiron and Kelvin. Two men talking our food, but the emotion is overwhelming. After years of pain and hiding, Chiron finally feels safe enough to just be. That moment, small as it is, feels revolutionary. We also couldn't stop thinking about the swimming scene or the way Juan looked at the Chiron like a father should, or how Chiron hugs his mother in rehab. There's so much forgiveness is in that one embrace. It's a small moment in Moonlight that stay with you because they are real. This film doesn't just tell a story, it invites you into someone else's world. And you are there. Once you are there, you carry it with you. I will call my
Moonlight is a more than a movie. It's a cultural shift. It's broken the barriers by winning the Academy Awards too. From the best picture, it was the first week in the an all black cast and one of the few Indian films from every take the top prizes. But the impact goes behind the awards. In an industry where story about black living are often reducing the stereotypes, Moonlight is there to be soft, it's there to be poetic, it's there to be human. It showed the black boys can cry. The curious story deserves the same beauty and respect as any love story. It is also opened the door more closing filmmaking. After Moonlight, we saw a wave of new voice behind the heart. Story had been ignored from too long, and it's not just in Hollywood. In classroom, communities and Moonlight speaks dialogues about identity, race, and love. It showed to representation is not just about in checking box. It is about telling the truth with a density of frame. My family is fighting.
So, where does that leave us? After watching Moonlight, our entire group felt changed, not because it delivered a grand message, but because it quietly held up a mirror and asked us to look. We saw in Chiron's journey a story of survival, but also a story of hope, that even in a world full of pain, small acts of kindness can save someone. That even if you feel alone, your story still matters. That love, even when it's complicated, can still be transformative. As a group, we strongly believe Moonlight is essential viewing, not just because it's beautifully made, though it is, but because it's emotionally honest. It is a rare film that teaches empathy not through speech but through silence. And we recommend Moonlight to anyone who wants to understand more about what it means to be human, to see the world through someone else's eyes, and to carry a little more kindness in your heart afterward. This film is not something you watch, it's something you feel, and it stays with you long after the credits roll. Thank you.